FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And it's time for our latest installment of the Indiana County First Responder of the Month. And who do I see across the microphone from me but Jody Rainey, Chief of the Cherryhill Township Fire Department, visiting us this morning. Our First Responder of the Month presented by Rosebud Mining, and our visit presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. We're so familiar with Jody because he's on with us wearing a number of hats. His fire chief's hat, though, is probably the neatest hat.
I should have brought it in until I had made you honorary fire chief today.
There you go. When you were a kid, this was a dream of yours, being a firefighter.
Well, yeah, in a way, I guess my grandfather was a founding member of Cherryhill, and so growing up, as I say all the time, born, raised, live, and will probably die in Penn Run, Pennsylvania. And so for me, we had a junior firefighter program, a lot of everybody in town, every one of my friends, there was a slew of us, and we all belonged to the fire company. And just my memories of the fire company and how it connected me, obviously, was through family. Like, I had not only aunts and uncles, my dad was a firefighter for a short time, my mom was in the ladies auxiliary, and that's where you met Santa Claus, that's where you met the Easter Bunny, that's where we had our scout meetings, that's where we did trick-or-treat and Halloween parties, and the fire company was just the hub of the community, and I'd like to think it kind of still is. And probably but the most impactful thing that happened when I was young, Markle's greenhouse, that's where our new engine house sits now.
Yeah.
It burnt on a Friday, and I remember sitting across the street the next day in the Presbyterian churchyard and watched our community put that greenhouse back together. And that just always stuck with me, just the sense of community, and that's why I do what I do, and I'm sure every first responder does what they do, is just a need to serve their community and try to make their community better. So, I kind of joined because I don't know if it was expected of me. I kind of expected that of myself, and then that's morphed into a lot more than I ever anticipated when I joined.
Well, it's interesting that you use the word community so often in describing it is a relationship, isn't it, between the fire department and the community which serves, in which it serves, because the people of the community are what make the fire department.
It is, and we have, and every fire company has multiple memberships, and I would implore people in their communities to get involved. Like, for us, I think a lot of people miss there's two sides of the house. There's obviously the fire company is a business, and we also go out and we have the business side of the house, and we have the fire side of the house. And sometimes people get mixed up, and it's like, obviously we formed to protect life, property, and the environment in the community. But in order to do that, you need money. And so we're fortunate at Cherryhill. We have a group of social members that are very instrumental. Like, we run 2 bingo games a week. Our social members run that for us. So that frees up people like myself who fight fire and stuff like that I actually have more time to focus on it, or focus on my professional life or just my family life. And so I would implore every person has something they can give to the fire company. It isn't just fighting the fire, kicking the door in, cutting up the car. That's a major part of what we do and why we're there. But there's a need for people that help on the fundraising end, cooking, when we have events, the kitchen help, people that are good with business, accountants, people that know trucks and mechanics, people that are good with construction, lawn care. There's so many things that go into it, and there's a place for everybody. And I'm so fortunate in Cherryhill that our community is fantastic, the support that we get from them, but also our municipality. People might not realize this, but the fire company is basically, we're employees of our municipality. And our supervisors are fantastic. We have a great working relationship with them, and we're just so appreciative of all the things they do to support our fire company, because collectively we're just doing that to support our community. So, but I would ask everybody, go check out your local fire company. You don't have to be a firefighter. Just go down and see what they need help with, and offer the best you can. It's a great way to meet friends and just build relationships. It's an awesome thing to do.
You know, somebody was just telling me about a local fire company in Armstrong County that, you know, they want to replace a truck. Replacing a truck is not an easy thing to do. The expense of it is, you know, it was $800,000 if you buy it new. We can get you a used model for $400,000. Nobody has $400,000 in their back pocket. You put up a new fire hall just a couple of years ago.
We did.
Those are major expenses, but they are really vital to the lifeblood of the community.
Right, and you don't do that without the support of your community. You know, we replaced. You know, we were unfortunate in 2019 that or 2017, we totaled our 2006 rescue truck. You know, and we bought that truck back in 2007, I think, for like 400 and some thousand. And, you know, fortunate for us with insurance and stuff, but our replacement rescue cost us $651,000. And then you add that on top of constructing a new engine house, which was well more than that, probably close to the $900,000 range. You know, so yeah, you take on debt service, but it's because of the people that run our bingo games, work our raffles, community members contributing to fund drive, some awesome work from our grant writers and stuff like that, you know, you're able to financially afford that. And, you know, and so, you know, it's a lot to run a company. It is. And I'm also not only the fire chief, I am the treasurer of our fire company too. So, and so I always say this, I'm one of the few that understand both sides of that house. I understand the business side, what it takes to run a fire company, but I also understand that the reason we're raising money and what it's supposed to go and do and help us.
Well, you are the first responder of the month, which is really an award for the entire community and the firefighting community there in Cherryhill Township. You know, and we talk about the business of it all. We talk about, you know, the various logistics of a fire company and the way that it operates. But really, when it comes down to, it's the idea of service. So many of our first responders come in and say that on somebody's worst day, I want to make it a little bit better. I know you subscribe to that same feeling.
100%. You know, I can't, you know, on someone's worst day, we're showing up. And I always say it this way, you know, if my family was, let's just use Indiana. If my family's traveling through Indiana and unfortunately they're in an accident or something happens where they need help, I'm so thankful that for all the brotherhood and sisterhood, not only of the fire service, but law enforcement, EMS, because someone's out there, they're going to come and help them, you know, and that's what I always say in our fire station is like, you know, I'm proud of our guys. Our guys at Cherryhill are fantastic. You know, and you get so much more out of it than this fire company, but, you know, when they train and when they go out and we do our best to try to make it better. And sometimes, unfortunately, we can't, and other times we can, but, you know, at least there's people out there that are willing to put in the time to go do that. And we can't do that. I say this to every one of our fundraisers. We can't do what we do if it isn't for the people that are coming and playing bingo. If we can't do that for people who aren't coming to our raffles. We can't do that if the community isn't donating funds. And we do a lot with our community in our fund drive letters to communicate to them what we plan to do with the money they give us. We give them a goal that we have and ask them to help us meet that goal. So I think that openness to your community still is an essential part of what we do.
It really is. Jody Rainey, our Indiana County First Responder of the Month this month, as we talk about the Cherryhill Township Fire Department. You know, fire seasons are different. In this season of the year, you hear about structure fires, and we understand the risks of some of the actions that we take. On a cold day like this, we might make an unwise decision about heating our home or trying to stay warm. Here comes brush fire season. It's only a couple of months away, and the teamwork that is required to fight brush fires, the dry season of the summer, all of these different things. You could be called out for a flood, you could be called out for a fire, you could be called out for an accident, all kinds of different things. Firefighters are there. I know you have to be really, really proud of the team that you built, the firefighting team at Cherryhill Township.
Oh, yeah, I am, and obviously, I'm also proud of our mutual aid companies too. That in which all companies in Indiana County do agree to provide mutual aid when called upon to other companies, and so for us, I think the fire service is morphing to more of a specialty type of thing. If this makes sense, is like we take members on I want a member that can do it all. But sometimes we got guys that are really, really good at vehicle extrication, and that's their thing. Okay, it doesn't mean they can't help us on a structure fire, but we also have guys that really dig into everything they can for suppression and learn that. So yeah, it's multifaceted, and I always we look at our data at our fire station, and I look at it like we have to be really proficient at our primary call volume is vehicle accidents. And then you look at, structure fires, brush fires, and stuff like that. But I also think from a financial standpoint, to add what you're saying, Todd, is, okay, we don't have technically a brush truck. Okay, we have a truck that can serve as a brush truck for us. So we rely on mutual aid from, Clymer, Pine Township, Brush Valley, IFA, places like that to support us if we have that type of call that's too large for what we have to handle. Same with in a rural area, it's kind of unheard of to have a tanker, but not to have a tanker, haul a lot of water, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have one. Okay, why? Because Clymer has a 3,000 gallon one, Commodore has a 3,000 gallon one, Pine Township has an 1,800 gallon tanker. So we what we do, we work into our plans a lot of how we can use our mutual aid companies, and we're so appreciative of them because we hold great relationships with our mutual aid companies, and it's a whole team effort, and just again, it's not just Cherryhill, it's all of us working collectively to serve our communities.
I want to ask Paul Tatarko to come in and present to you the plaque as our first responder of the month.
Did he get promoted today or what?
I think maybe it has something to do with Jody and I are not only doing this together, we're lifelong friends. We've been friends for 45 years, and I understand the commitment and time he has put into this, even growing up when we were younger, playing ball, being in school, he would leave school and go to, fight a brush fire or whatever. So I couldn't be more proud of him as a person than I am. Joe, I appreciate it, and I'm going to call you Goon because that's what I know you by.
I'll call you Turk. So
I appreciate all the time, hard work, effort, and everything you put into love you too, buddy, putting into your community. And as you'll see by the plaque, the plaque says, if you could hold it up.
There you go.
Yeah, it says Jody Rainey, because I know a lot of his firefighting friends and partners and the people he grew up with, that's what they know him by.
That's what they call me.
Not only, that's not his professional name, let's put it that way.
well, there are a lot of hats, and that's a good one to wear.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one to wear, Jody.
We'll have to do a whole segment on the nickname someday. There's a whole story behind that.
I don't know if we could do that on this show.
Actually, if you remember, it started with a Christmas gift one time.
Yes, it did.
From Nemo.
There we go. Here we go. And it's out of control. Jody, congratulations. Thank you so much for your service, and to all of the firefighting team at Cherryhill Township.
Well, thanks. Todd, real quick, number one, I want to thank Rosebud, too, for sponsoring this program. They're a great contributor to our communities, too. And, again, I think every person serving right now is first responder of the month. I don't care if you're running your fundraiser or whatever, but for all the people out there, there's a lot of people if I've mentioned people, I could be here for all day. But at the end of the day, I just really appreciate everybody that's fed into me and helped me along the way. So I just want to say thank you to them. And please go out, guys. I don't care what you do. Please go out and check your fire company out and see how you can help make your community better.
Excellent. Very, very well said. Thank you so much. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Fox News is next, and then it's the Brian Kilmeade Show on your Tuesday morning.